industry is unique. It's huge, but at the same time, it is very small, very interconnected. I ran into a former coworker today, and that same terminology came up. People that we don't see, but know that person, and they're connected to that business. It's incredible. World Dairy Expo is a shining example of that interconnectedness. Most agree, and I think this room would agree for sure, that at the foundation of all of this is the love of the dairy animal and the people who care for her. Tonight, we will relish the accomplishments and impact of these three industry contributors. And my bet, my quarter, is that we will leave here inspired by reflections of their journey and the roads they followed to reach their destination. So let's find out together. I invite you to sit back and enjoy and listen to the stories of their journey and the roads they traveled to leave their marks on our great industry. I promise you won't be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill. Tonight's honorees will be introduced to all of you through a video presentation. So I'd ask, please, if you would, turn your attention to one of the screens as we travel through each of our honorees' incredible stories of this year's award winners. We will begin this evening. It is my honor to introduce the 2025 World Dairy Expo Industry Person of the Year, Mr. Jim Mulhern of the National Milk Producers Federation of Arlington, Virginia. Please, a video about Jim's accomplishments.
Today, we celebrate a true servant leader. Someone whose 45-year career has been dedicated to representing America's dairy farmers in agricultural policy and advocacy. It is with great honor that World Dairy Expo names Jim Mulhern the 2025 Industry Person of the Year. Jim's journey began in Portage, Wisconsin, just north of Madison. While he didn't grow up on a dairy farm himself, weekends spent with friends and family on local farms sparked a lifelong passion for the dairy industry. His desire to go to bat for others and be a solid team member were cultivated in his youth, as was his desire to serve others. A middle school student during the Vietnam War era, Jim credits one of his 7th grade teachers with installing in him a fascination with politics. While witnessing his country seemingly being torn apart, Jim recognized the power of diplomacy. He also gained an appreciation for the art of compromise, being a middle child with older and younger siblings to contend with. His curiosity led him to study agricultural journalism at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and a summer internship in Washington, D.C. first immersed him in dairy policy. Jim knew from early on that he wanted to make a difference, not on the farm itself, but in supporting the people who feed our nation. That summer, he tackled some of the dairy industry's most pressing challenges, including supply-demand balance, a concern that would shape the trajectory of his career. After college, Jim joined a regional milk marketing cooperative based in Madison, representing dairy farmers across the Midwest and deepening his commitment to policy advocacy. Putting his journalism degree into practice, he served as director of communications. Politics and agriculture intersected perfectly for him, and that intersection became his life's work. This early work experience, interacting at the grassroots level with dairy farm families on a daily basis, laid the foundation for the ensuing 42 years of policy work. Jim's career path led him to Capitol Hill in 1982 and eventually to the National Milk Producers Federation. Jim directed the organization's government affairs activities and played a pivotal role in shaping its strategy in the face of the 1980s farm crisis, a desperate time for many of the nation's farm families. Jim's influence on Capitol Hill was felt by many, Tackling tough issues and bringing about consensus and solutions were his hallmarks. When Hollywood cast Dennis Quaid as a dairy lobbyist in the 1987 movie Suspect, it was Jim Mulhern he turned to in order to develop his character. While Jim found the film far-fetched, he remained hopeful people are able to separate Hollywood from reality. Meanwhile, back in reality, Herb Kohl was elected to the U.S. Senate and tapped the young lobbyist to serve as his chief of staff. In this role, Jim managed the D.C. office and state operations throughout Wisconsin, routinely advising the senator on legislative and political issues. During this time, Jim continued to learn firsthand how to negotiate and deliver legislation to positively impact the dairy industry. After working in the U.S. Senate, Jim went to work for Fleischman Hillard, a well-known international communications firm. He eventually held senior management positions for the Fratelli Group and later Watson Mulhern LLC, providing award-winning strategic counsel in government relations, issues and crisis management, and media relations. With 3 decades of government policy and communications experience throughout Washington, D.C., Jim returned to the National Milk Producers Federation staff, first as Chief Operating Officer for 1 year, then as President and Chief Executive Officer from 2014 to 2023. As CEO, Jim directed the dairy organization's work on a wide range of important issues, including trade policy, immigration reform, farm bills, environmental policy, animal care, nutrition issues, food labeling and standards of identity, sustainability, and much more. Mulhern led the Federation through 2 farm bills and worked to support policy changes and boost dairy exports. He's also been a vocal critic of plant-based product producers, using dairy terms like milk and cheese. Great at communicating and taking on heavy issues and getting groups to work together, Jim was instrumental in expanding the dairy farmer-led Farmers Assuring Responsible Management, or FARM program, which works with dairy producers, cooperatives, processors, and industry partners to demonstrate the highest standards of animal care and sustainability on U.S. dairy farms. He also played a key role in establishing and eventually improving the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, or DMC. In addition, Jim was far ahead of the narrative on sustainability and carbon impact, bringing both policy leaders and environmental groups to the table. Every step of the way, Jim advocated on behalf of dairy farmers for farmer-led incentive-based programs. During his tenure, Jim saw remarkable industry transformations. The number of U.S. dairy farms decreased dramatically, while milk quality and farm professionalism soared. Through it all, he remained focused on the who, not just the what. The people, farmers, staff, colleagues were the heart of every accomplishment. As the sun sets on his career, the nation's dairy industry celebrates a man whose kindness, hard work, and collaborative nature are unmatched in policy circles. He's taught us that when our industry splits and goes different ways, we almost always categorically lose. When we pull together and find that common ground, dairy becomes a force that punches far above our weight. Dairy has been able to punch far beyond its weight with America's agricultural heavyweights because of Jim Mulhern.
Jim, on behalf of the many industry leaders who supported this award, congratulations on being named World Dairy Expo's Industry Person of the Year. The deep respect you have earned throughout the years from colleagues on both sides of the aisle on Capitol Hill, leaders throughout the dairy cooperative community, and from dairy farmers and processors alike speaks volumes to your incredible contributions in making our dairy community a better place for everyone.
The U.S. dairy industry is the envy of the world in terms of the innovation of its dairy products and the groundbreaking work in sustainability. One of the reasons for that is the leadership and the vision and advocacy of people like Jim Mulhern. Jim, thank you for your tireless efforts to support American dairy farmers over many years and for making the industry an even better place for the next generation.
Jim, you have delivered positive outcomes far beyond your required duties at every job you have ever served. You have done so with kindness, hard work, and collaborative nature, unmatched in policy circles. You are the very epitome of a servant leader. That's why we are so pleased to celebrate you as the 55th winner of World Dairy Expo's longest-running award, Industry Person of the Year.
Beyond his professional achievements, Jim values family, learning, and health. He's now enjoying the third act of life, spending time with his friends and family, hiking, biking, traveling, and continuing to learn. And true to his roots, dairy remains central to his daily routine, from morning cereal with milk and yogurt to a refrigerator stocked with cheese. Receiving the 2025 Industry Person of the Year award is perhaps both a homecoming and a full circle moment. Jim's story is one of dedication, humility, and vision. From the fields of Wisconsin to the halls of Congress, he's demonstrated that meaningful work is measured not just in accomplishments, but in the lives touched and the legacy left behind. Congratulations, Jim Mulhern, World Dairy Expo's 2025 Industry Person of the Year. Thank you for your leadership, your service, and your unwavering commitment to the future of dairy. Please join us in a round of applause.
Jim, if you would please join us on stage.
Wow. Laura, thank you very much for this honor, for that amazing video that you folks produced here. Bill, thank you for your leadership of this incredible organization, the board of directors. It is really, it's not often that I feel speechless, but after watching that video, I think I should just sit down and shut up. Too many nice things said, but this is really an incredibly humbling honor for me, something that I never imagined when I started this journey 45 years ago, right here in Madison, as a graduate of the University of Wisconsin, started my work here as the video talked about, and then to come full circle, to come back here and be recognized by the greatest people on the face of the earth, America's dairy producers, and the world's dairy producers, because this is an international event, to me is just, it's amazing. And it's been an amazing journey for me throughout that time, filled with this opportunity to work for just incredible people. Deeply satisfying work on behalf of people who work very, very hard, and really taught me from an early age a great deal about the importance of hard work, of perseverance, and really an eternal sense of optimism. And you got to have that to be in dairy and to be in agriculture. And I try to embody those values, and I think channeling those values more than anything else is the reason that I can stand here tonight to say thank you to all of you. I want to first thank the World Dairy Expo Board of Directors for this incredible honor. I want to thank the members of the board who put my name forward in nomination, especially Corey Geiger, Jeff Lyon, Steve Maddox, Emily Yeiser-Stepp. Really appreciate all the work that all you did to put this together. You know, each of you know how much I respect and admire you individually and your incredible work and your friendship. So thank you for this honor. And I want to take just a couple of minutes. I want to thank my wonderful family, many of whom are here tonight. I have several siblings, a ton of nieces and nephews, and I'm honored to have a couple of ambassadors of the next generation here with me. And I want to especially thank my children and their partners. It's so good to have my daughter Kira, my son Will, and my daughter Haley here to enjoy this, not only this celebration, but they all live on the East Coast. So thank you for delivering this amazing weather. Maybe I can convince them to spend more time here in the Midwest. We're going to be around for the weekend, go back home and spend some quality time. So thank you all for being here. And I do want to say, because I missed a lot of your events when you were growing up and I was working, and it's important for me, you know this, but I want to say to everybody here that as much as I value this award and the contributions I've been able to make to this industry, there's no greater honor in my life than being your father. And you honor me with the great work that all of you do. I did learn so much throughout my career from the people I worked with. Amazing people on the Hill, especially my colleagues at National Milk Producers Federation. Those of you who don't know, I had 2 different stints at National Milk. I didn't get enough the first time, but I knew that I didn't want to stay there my entire career, so that's when I went back to Capitol Hill to work for Senator Cole. But the opportunity came back. I got to credit Jerry Kozak, my predecessor as CEO, who he and Randy Mooney were the 2 that encouraged me to come back and take this position, and I'm so thankful for them. But the staff at National Milk, we did everything as a team. And really in life, that's how you get things done, is teamwork. I especially want to recognize the right hand on my team, Tom Balmer, who was my executive vice president, a man who is really one of the great unsung heroes of this industry. He's contributed so much on so many issues, quietly, often in the shadows, but Tom deserves this honor, even more, frankly, I think, than I do, for all the work that he's done on behalf of this industry. Tom, I'm honored that you flew out here tonight for this event. To Greg Dowd, my successor at National Milk. Greg, I am so thankful that you took over so I could step away. You're doing a hell of a job, and you know that I'm there to support you every step of the way. I also want to express my deep thanks and appreciation to my great friends in dairy promotion. Marilyn Hershey and Barbara Bryan are here tonight. I worked hand in glove with them in our appropriate roles. We did the policy work, they did the promotion work, but we did so much together during my tenure at National Milk for this industry, and I really appreciate your friendship, your leadership, and all the work that you continue to do on behalf of this industry. But I want to close by recognizing 2 people who everybody in this room, everybody I've worked with has contributed and has been part of any success that I've had. But there are 2 people who rise above everything, and I want to express tonight to them my very deep appreciation, because without them I really wouldn't be standing here. First, to Doug Caruso, who is here tonight, the person most responsible for my career in dairy, because he's the guy that hired me out of college when I was a young, snot-nosed kid who really didn't know much of anything. But Doug took a chance on me, and I worked for him here in Madison at the Milk Marketing Co-op for about 4 years. And that's really where I learned the passion of the producer community, by going to the meetings and working with producers at the grassroots level. Doug taught me so much beyond what he even knows. But the knowledge on dairy economics, the passion of the dairy producer community, so many important lessons I learned, Doug, working with you, and I'm so pleased that you 2 could be here tonight. Finally, I want to thank Randy Mooney, my chairman throughout my entire tenure at National Milk, and one of the greatest leaders in American agriculture. I saw that firsthand working with him on a daily basis throughout my time at National Milk. Randy, I want to thank you and your wonderful wife, Jan, for making the trip to be here. I'm honored that you would come out to join us. I'm more appreciative of your just incredible leadership and your patience and your friendship with me. There were a lot of mistakes that I could have made as leader of National Milk, but Randy kept me from many of those, and I appreciate your gentle touch in putting me on the right path. The truth is that everything I accomplished at National Milk was done in very close collaboration with Randy. He was my boss, but he was much, much more than that. He was my rock, my confidant, and my leader. Randy, thank you so much for everything you do for this industry and for everything you did for me. Let me close by expressing my deep thanks to America's dairy farmers. From the beginning of my journey 45 years ago, as the video said, I didn't grow up in a dairy farm. I grew up close to dairy farms, lots of friends. I spent time, weekends on the farms. I probably made a huge mess every time I did that, but somehow most of them survived. But America's dairy farmers, as I said at the beginning, have been my guidepost, my North Star. And any success that I achieved was on behalf of you, was for you. And I always knew it was never about me. It was always about we. And I think with that attitude, there's so much that we can get done. So I do think the future of this industry is incredibly bright because of the character of the people who populate it. All of you here, your colleagues, your friends, your neighbors across the country, the great work you do. So I just want to say one more time, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for an incredible journey. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Jim. Our journey continues with the 2025 World Dairy Expo Dairy Producers of the Year. Tom, Mike, Clay, Dave, and Ken McCarty of McCarty Family Farms of Rexford, Kansas.
As fourth-generation dairy farmers, the McCarty family doesn't take feeding the world lightly. At McCarty Family Farms, producing high-quality milk is only the beginning. They see their farm as a force for good, prioritizing animal welfare, regenerative farming, and responsible business practices that impact not just their cows, but their team, their community, and the future of dairy. World Dairy Expo proudly recognizes Tom, Mike, Clay, Dave, and Ken McCarty of McCarty Family Farms as the 2025 Dairy Producers of the Year. The McCarty family began milking cows over a century ago in Pennsylvania. When Tom and Judy McCarty took over the reins, they grew the milking herd to 200 cows and were raising 4 sons who were each keenly interested in dairying with their parents. With limited growth opportunities in Pennsylvania, they made a bold move in 1999, packing up everything they knew and heading west to the wide open spaces of northwest Kansas. Once situated in their new location in Rexford, Kansas, the family began milking 700 cows. Over the 25 years that followed, the McCartys built not just dairies, but partnerships rooted in trust, transparency, and a shared vision. In 2012, the family established an on-site evaporative milk condensing plant and launched a direct partnership with Danone North America, producing non-GMO project-verified milk for the leading U.S. yogurt maker. Collaboration continued in 2018 with the development of MVP, the McCarty Van Tilburg Partnership Dairy in Ohio, an award-winning cutting-edge facility built on the values of transparency and sustainability. Their newest site, McCarty Family Farms North, completed in 2023, is their most advanced yet, housing 10,000 Holsteins in state-of-the-art barns and operating 2 of the largest rotary milking carousels in the world, each with 120 stalls. This flagship dairy sets a new global standard, and technology is the blueprint for the future. At McCarty Family Farms, cow care comes first. Their barns are designed for comfort with sand-bedded stalls, rubber flooring, cooling systems, smart misters, and even cow brushes and music. Each cow wears a behavior monitoring tag, helping staff track health and activity in real time. In the milking parlor, technology captures individual cow data, while sort gates and needle-free health treatments minimize stress. Robots, sensors, and AI body scanning help ensure every cow gets the attention she deserves. The family's commitment extends to genetics. By genomically testing their herd, they've achieved remarkable progress in milk yield, fat, and protein production, currently averaging 106 pounds of fat-corrected milk with a 3.3% protein test and 4.2% butterfat test, while breeding for health, longevity, and efficiency. Their genetics program has earned national recognition, with hundreds of cows topping production lists and achieving elite classifications. McCarty Family Farms Elm Can MFF Prefix is recognized as the world's largest registered herd of Holsteins, numbering nearly 20,000. In addition to genetic evaluations, cows are classified 3 times annually. The herd has been recognized with Holstein USA's Progressive Genetics Award for the past 8 years. But cow care is only part of the story. The McCarty family embraces regenerative farming, managing 6,000 acres with practices that protect soil health, conserve water, and support biodiversity. Cover crops, reduced tillage, pollinator habits, and wildlife boxes all play a role in building healthier ecosystems. As a designated Kansas water technology farm, every drop of water is measured, recycled, or reclaimed. Even the water in their milk is captured during processing and reused for cleaning or irrigation, making their condensing plant nearly water neutral. Innovation also drives their climate goals. By condensing milk before shipping, they reduce transportation emissions by 75%. Solar panels, methane tracking, and electric tractors all contribute to lowering their footprint. And a new anaerobic digester has begun transforming the farm's manure into renewable energy. For the McCartys, sustainability includes people. Since operating their 2 learning centers, one in Kansas and the other in Ohio, they've opened their doors to nearly 50,000 visitors and counting. In Kansas, through their Yogurt for Youth program, more than 70,000 servings of nutritious yogurt reach local schools every year. As a tribute to Judy McCarty and the vital role she played in both farm and family, in 2024, the Judy McCarty Dairy Learning Center was dedicated in her memory, an 8,000 square foot visitor space where consumers, students, and future dairy leaders can see firsthand how milk is produced responsibly from soil to yogurt cup. And just as they care for their cows, they care for their more than 200 employees. Housing support, strong benefits, and even paid volunteer hours reflect their belief that employees are family. What sets McCarty Family Farms apart is their willingness to be measured. They voluntarily undergo third-party audits for animal welfare, environmental care, and employee practices. Their B Corp certification places them among the most socially and environmentally responsible businesses in the world. Proof that dairy can be a part of the climate solution while feeding a growing population.
It is such an honor and a pleasure to recognize the McCarty family as the 2025 World Dairy Expo Dairy Producers of the Year. Tom and his entire family have made a true difference in the dairy industry of the United States, in the state of Kansas, and also in the state of Ohio. And what they've done for not only running an amazing dairy, but they've also done a lot of work for their fellow dairymen in the area of milk promotion, milk education, and education on how cows are treated today. I can't think of a more deserving family than the McCartys to receive this award.
I've known Tom McCarty for the better part of 50 years. And we were in school together and on the judging team. One thing that's unique about the McCarty family is that there are 4 offspring who want to follow in the footsteps of their very progressive parents. And what's even more unique is that they had 2 parents who were willing to make a unique move across the country in order to allow this farm to grow. I'd like to congratulate the McCarty family for all the success that they've had in their business practices, and most importantly, congratulate them for their award with the World Dairy Expo Producer of the Year. Tom and boys, it's been an honor to be part of your family and visit with you from time to time and recognize what you have accomplished over the last 50 years.
Through 4 generations, and with a 5th generation learning the ropes, the McCarty family has built more than a dairy. They've built a model for the future of agriculture. With their commitment to cows, land, employees, and community, McCarty Family Farms exemplifies what it means to be leaders in dairy. Please join us in a salute to grit, resilience, and a strong sense of family and community as we recognize Tom, Mike, Clay, Dave, and Ken McCarty of McCarty Family Farms as the 2025 World Dairy Expo Dairy Producers of the Year.
I'd like to invite Tom, Mike, Clay, Dave, and Ken McCarty of the McCarty Family Farms to please come to the stage to receive their award.
Jim, you're a little taller than I was. So I'm Ken McCarty. Obviously, drew the short straw, and I have to give the comments. First, and I'm going to caution you, I'll get emotional. Bear with me. First, I'd like to recognize some of our family who made the trip, clear from Kansas. So if Maddie, Ellie, Amy, Jess, and Colton could stand up, just want to say thank you. Thanks for being here and for all your support. Okay, here it goes. I normally wing this, so this is like my first time with prepared comments. I'd like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here with us. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for the friendship, the partnership. Told you. And the opportunity to work in an industry we love with people we love. Our family's been fortunate enough to receive other honors, but few are as meaningful or as special as this one. To be honored by people who understand the blood, sweat, and tears that get poured into the dairy industry is especially humbling. We've been blessed to have people in our lives that have supported us, challenged us, believed in us, from time to time smacked us back into line when we needed it. And I'd like to take a minute to mention a few of those. First, our families. Those that are here and those that couldn't be with us. those that are family by blood and family by choice, our families, both home and at work, have poured countless hours into us, into our farms, and into our collective futures. And we're eternally grateful for all of you. Second, our partners. Partners in the truest sense of the word, like the Van Tilburg brothers, who we are partnered with at MVP Dairy. They've reinforced to us the belief that we're all better together, but also partners who have supported our vision and goals. Amarillo National Bank, because we're dairy farmers, we have to have debt. Cargill, De Laval, Zoetis, Southwest Dairy, Deneau North America, Holstein Association, and Select Sires. And a special thank you to Select Sires for nominating us for this prestigious award. And finally, we want to say thank you to the dairy industry, which never ceases to provide inspiration, motivation, support, and a little bit of humor to brighten the days when the bullshit, literally and figuratively, gets a little too deep. So thank you all very much.
Well, if you don't leave this evening inspired and ready to tackle the world and the dairy industry, I don't know what it's going to take. Congratulations again to the McCarty family, their partners, and their team members. And finally, it is time to meet the 2025 World Dairy Expo International Person of the Year, Juan F. Moreno of ST Genetics, originally from Colombia, who now calls Navasota, Texas, home.
Few individuals have had such a global impact on agriculture as Juan F. Moreno. His journey is a testament to the power of vision, perseverance, and groundbreaking technology, all of which showcase his exceptional determination to better feed the world. That is why World Dairy Expo is pleased to recognize Juan F. Moreno of Navasota, Texas, as the 2025 International Person of the Year. Juan was raised on a farm in Colombia, where his brother dairies to this day. The family bred brown Swiss and was actively involved in the show ring, earning numerous accolades along the way. From an early age, Juan found he had an affinity for animals. When he graduated from high school, he made the move from Columbia to Columbus to attend Ohio State University. While there, he became a member of the OSU judging team. But it was a job working at the dairy facility there that became pivotal to his career, exposing him to the bovine somatotropin, BST trials going on at that time. Enamored with the power of data, he was full of questions and used his remaining time at Ohio State University learning how to harness his curiosity. A bachelor's degree in dairy science awarded in 1988 was the springboard for a master's degree in reproductive physiology from Texas A&M University. With degrees in hand, Juan founded Genetic Resources International, or GRI, a custom bull collection, embryo transfer, and IVF facility on a site about 15 miles south of Texas A&M that is now the ST Genetics Sexing Technologies Global Headquarters. Juan was searching for a service to stand GRI apart from his competitors when he learned of licenses being offered to gender sort livestock semen using machines called flow cytometers. At the time, gender-sorted semen was significantly more expensive than conventional semen and had a conception rate about 25% lower than conventional. He studied the science behind the sorting process and felt he could make it commercially successful. He received a license in 2002 and began sorting commercially in 2003, giving birth to Sexing Technologies. The company later purchased XY Technologies and Cytonome to advance research surrounding sexed semen. As the co-founder and co-CEO of Sexting Technologies, ST, with partner Maurice Rosenstein, Juan has spearheaded advancements that have fundamentally altered the landscape of animal breeding, turning what was once deemed impossible into everyday practice for farmers worldwide. He pioneered gender-sorted semen technology with over 90% accuracy in determining offspring sex and traveled the world to share its benefits. He has also been granted 78 patents, a key to the continued success and development of ST. ST has established a strong global presence with 60 laboratories across 20 different countries. In 2015, ST successfully launched ST Genetics, a livestock genetics development and sales company that markets products domestically and globally. Currently, ST Genetics operates 7 bull stud farms, 4 in the United States, 1 in Canada, 1 in Italy, and 1 in the United Kingdom. By establishing strong industry partners and employing a strategically structured business model, ST has expanded their reach through the acquisition of several other AI companies and currently employs over 1,800 people globally. Juan's goals to make the dairy industry environmentally friendly and sustainable has led to other technologies such as EcoFeed and FarmFit, both of which have reshaped dairy and beef production economics and addressed critical global food security and sustainability challenges. His vision for EcoFeed was far more than just improving feed efficiency. The technology also determines its impact on manure production, methane emissions, and carbon dioxide output, thus identifying animals with the smallest carbon footprints. This inheritable trait is one of many his research and development teams studied as they delved further into livestock genetics. The FarmFit program resulted in creation of a battery-powered bolus, now available to dairy producers. The bolus resides in an animal's rumen, where it measures body temperature, motion, and other parameters and uploads them to the producer's cell phone. These measurements feed a predictive algorithm that converts the data into actionable alerts about the animal's health and productivity. FarmFit is just the beginning of Juan's desire to grow bioinformatics technology, which he believes is the next transformative technology in the dairy industry. Juan's impact on dairy cattle genetics extends beyond the company itself. He provides access to ST Genetics animal facilities for research projects and assists in facilitating academic studies. He works closely with Ohio State and Texas A&M to conduct research programs and provides employment opportunities for graduates within ST Genetics facilities in Ohio, Wisconsin, and Texas. His motivation to provide solutions to issues facing the global farming community have helped forge key partnerships domestically and worldwide, cementing friendships and earning honors along the way. An example is seen in having achieved #1 TPI proven status for 8 consecutive genetic proof runs, a first in the genomic era, earned by ST Genetics Geno Source Captain, seen here with Juan, Tim Rowan, and Bob Davis.
Hi, I'm Maurice Rosenstein. Juan Moreno and I have been partners for over 20 years in French. Juan Moreno is also a great family man. He loves his wife and kids. He's always kept them #1. Juan Moreno's knowledge in our industry is far beyond anyone that I have ever seen or known about. His ability also to travel all over the world and train our technicians with the knowledge that he has. Juan, congratulations, you deserve this.
Juan's exceptional patience and remarkable ability to simplify complex scientific concepts for broad audiences has created global demand for his presentation skills. His family, who has graciously shared Juan's time with business associates through the years, is grateful for opportunities to travel with him on occasion. And the farm boy who judged at Ohio State University still enjoys the opportunity to get his boots dirty on the farm or place a bid occasionally at a cattle sale. Because of his transformative work in the livestock breeding industry and his commitment to innovation, Juan has earned numerous honors. His insatiable desire to satisfy his own curiosities has been to the benefit of the entire planet. World Dairy Expo is honored to recognize Juan F. Marino as the 2025 International Person of the Year. We ask that you join us in thanking and congratulating him.
Juan, please join us on the stage to accept this award.
Thank you to all of you for being here today, and it's because of your work, dedication to this industry every day that people like me have the opportunity to be on this stage. Without their hard work and dedications of farmers around the world, this would be literally impossible. I want to congratulate Jim and the McCartney family for their awards, and obviously also all prior award winners. To World Dairy Expo, thank you very much. I've been known to speak for a long time at presentations, so you're in good luck today because I won't do it today. Because in this kind of ceremonies, I'm an absolute, total, and absolute disaster. But I would want to pass the opportunity to thank a lot of people that along this road has been instrumental and a guiding hand, a friendship, and the camaraderie to help me get to this stage. I want to start with my parents who gave us and our family our beliefs, our values. Without their, I just got as emotional as you did. Without their help and support and everything they provided us, my brother and my sister, everything will be impossible. They also gave me the love of the brown Swiss cattle, which remains to this day. My brother, who was instrumental in, he's much older than I am, by the way, instrumental in guiding my hand to go to Ohio State and later to Texas A&M. I thank him very much. I finally made it to OSU, although I was never a very good student, and in that path at Ohio State, I had the opportunity to have a great group of classmates, all the people, the guys and gals in the Dairy Georgian team. To this day, they remain my friends. To Dr. Pete Spike, who was a guiding hand and who got me out of the depths of too much fun, playing too much on weekends and during the week at bars at Ohio State, but he got me out of there and convinced me to look at science a little bit more. Found my way to an ET practice in Northern Ohio, Dr. Max Van Buren, who's not with us today, but who was also a tremendous help and support. The cold winters in Ohio, working at an ET practice back then, convinced me I need to go back to school. That's how I ended up back to A&M. On my first day at A&M, had the luckiest day of my life, met my beautiful wife, 33 years. Without her work and dedications and all she did for our kids, our family. It would be very difficult to have been able to accomplish what we've been lucky to do. I had the opportunity also to work with great scientists at A&M, and along the path, my partner, Maurice Sustain, of many, many years, who put up with my craziness and my wild ideas. All the people at the company, some of us were not with us today, and I'd like to mention a couple of names. Unfortunately, they passed away. But without their dedication, Sexima wouldn't be what it is today. Mike Evans and Dr. Vishwanath. And I just wanted to remember their names because sometimes we forget those who are not with us anymore. To the entire ST staff, many who are here today and many that don't have the opportunity to be here today, this is not about one person. All of us know, the awardees know that well, that without everything that everybody does every day and all their contributions, nothing will be possible. And I'd just like to finish up with a big thank you from the bottom of my heart to the beautiful, wonderful industry that we're all part of it, that we all should be very proud of, because without us and all of your work and dedication, the world wouldn't be able to eat. So thank you all very much, and God bless you.
Congratulations again, Juan. Friends, thank you so very much for joining us on this meaningful journey this evening. These award winners remind us that while the road to Madison is different, for each of us, it is built on the same foundation of hard work, passion, and a love for the dairy cow and the dairy industry. This week, I encourage you to travel every part of Expo's road. Whether it's through the trade show, perhaps it's attending a virtual farm tour, maybe it's coming back here for a tan bark talk, or an Espanol session, or perhaps a conversation in the Knowledge Nook. Along the way, be sure to connect with old friends, meet new ones, that's what Expo's all about, and take advantage of all of the opportunities this event has to offer. And as we close tonight, I do want to take one moment to recognize Lisa Banquet. She is our communications director for World Dairy Expo. She has worked tirelessly throughout the week and here to make tonight's recognition awards program possible. So Lisa, don't be so timid. That's right, exactly. Well deserved. Thank you, Lisa. And a reminder, of course, to all of our recognition award winners following adjournment, if you could please be so kind, please come back to the stage area for a group photo. And for all of you, the journey doesn't end here tonight. Please stay and enjoy the Afterglow celebration right here until 11 p.m. A cash bar is available, and it's a wonderful chance to visit with tonight's honorees and fellow guests. I'd like to personally thank all of you for joining us at the 2025 Recognition Awards Banquet, and thank you for choosing the road to Madison this year. We look forward to seeing you next year at World Dairy Expo 2026. And with that, thank you and safe travels as you continue on your journey home.